And Chris Tucker, you're my favorite.
Can I keep the award for a couple of days?
Yeah, we gotta share it. No, we have to share it.
Where I'm staying at in Neverland?
Yeah, anywhere you want to stay.
All right, I'm in cabin number 3.
Okay.
Hey, what's up,
Thank you so much.
The friendship between Chris Tucker and Michael Jackson is one of the most surprising and heartwarming celebrity friendships fans still talk about today.
You have an ambitious nature and may make a name for yourself. Like, that's me, man. Hey, you forgot the name! You forgot to cook the food! You forgot to take the name! Food wasn't no good! Keep it to yourself!
Many people knew Michael Jackson as the biggest music star in the world, but only a few got to see the funny, relaxed, and playful side of him behind closed doors. Chris Tucker was one of those people. Over the years, Chris shared many stories about his time with Michael, and every story revealed something special about their bond.
Things did y'all do together?
We would do stuff like go to the movies, and Michael was so famous he had to disguise himself, trying to be secret too. You know, I'm hiding myself. Then Michael laughing louder than anybody. Everybody know Michael's laughing.
Right.
He's like, I was like, Michael, shut up.
Their friendship was filled with laughter, jokes, music, dancing, and unforgettable memories that showed Michael was much more than just a superstar.
He would laugh at me all the time because I would talk, and I guess he just laughed the way I talk. I was like, hey, Michael. He was like, so you're so country. You're so country.
Around Chris, Michael could relax, laugh loudly, joke around, and simply enjoy life. Chris Tucker often explained that when people think about Michael Jackson, they imagine a serious performer or a mysterious celebrity. But according to Chris, Michael was actually one of the funniest people he had ever met.
Give you anything if you liked something. Like I was just complimenting a flat screen TV he had, and he gave it to me. I was like, Michael, then the black came out of me. I started liking everything after that. I like that Rolls Royce, not the old one, the new Rolls Royce, right there. He said, you sure you like it? I said, yeah, I like it. He said, well, you better go buy one because I ain't giving you my Rolls.
Chris said Michael loved to laugh and enjoyed simple things. He had a playful personality that many fans never fully saw in public interviews. Chris remembered how Michael would joke around during private conversations and suddenly burst into laughter over the smallest things.
Michael changed my name. I ain't even say nothing. He started calling me Christmas. First, I didn't know who he was talking about. I didn't know who he was talking to. He was like, hey, Christmas. I'm talking to? I'm talking to you, Christmas.
Their friendship became strong because they both loved humor and enjoyed making each other laugh. One of Chris Tucker's most famous stories about Michael happened when the two decided to go watch a movie together. Now, for an ordinary person, going to the movies is simple, but for Michael Jackson, it was almost impossible because crowds would instantly surround him. Chris explained that Michael loved going out and experiencing normal things, but he had to be very careful because of his fame.
Go to the movies, but it's hard because Michael got to sneak in the movie right before it starts. Now I'm sitting there, well, where's Michael? And then I turn around, he's like, hey, Chris. I'm like, oh, man. How long you been here? About 5 minutes.
According to Chris, Michael sometimes wore disguises so he could enjoy regular activities without causing chaos everywhere he went. Chris laughed while describing how nervous and excited Michael became during these secret movie trips. Sometimes Michael would whisper funny comments during the movie, like a little kid enjoying an adventure. Chris said watching movies with Michael was unlike anything else because Michael reacted so emotionally to everything on screen. If something was funny, Michael laughed loudly. If something was scary, he reacted dramatically. If something was exciting, Michael became completely invested in the story.
Sorry, Chris. And then, we sneak in, all this stuff. He sneaks in at the last minute. He does all this stuff. Security bring us popcorn and stuff. And, I'm like, he's trying to hide,
Right. Here you go, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we watching the movie. He's the loudest person in there.
Really?
Yeah, he's watching the movie like, hee. I said, Michael, would you shut up so people see you? Sorry, it was funny.
Chris explained that going to the movies with Michael felt like watching the film with the world's biggest child in the best possible way. Chris also joked about how difficult it was to go anywhere quietly with Michael. Even in disguise, Michael's energy and personality were hard to hide. People would slowly start noticing him, and suddenly crowds would form.
Michael was the greatest entertainer ever and the biggest entertainer in the world, but he was the nicest guy in the world, man. He was just nice, man. I would go to Neverland and I would say I like something, he would give it to me. I said, Michael, I like that big screen TV. He was like, you like it, Chris? I said, yeah, I like it. He said, do you love it? I said, I love it. Next day I go home, Michael would send the TV to my house. I said, Michael, thank you. Wow. But I was like, Michael is nice and rich.
Chris remembered moments when Michael tried to stay calm while secretly enjoying the excitement at the same time. According to Chris, Michael loved people and loved being around fans, even though fame sometimes made normal life difficult for him. Another funny story Chris shared involved dancing with Michael Jackson.
Michael called me on the phone. He says, is this Chris Tucker? I said, yeah, who it is? So this is Michael Jackson. I said, what's up, Mike? He said, I just want to call you and tell you I seen your movie Rush Hour 2 and you're kicking with the wrong leg. Stop making me look bad.
Chris admitted that dancing beside Michael was both exciting and terrifying because Michael was simply too good. But despite being one of the greatest dancers ever, Michael never acted arrogant. Chris remembered moments where the two would joke around while dancing together, and Michael would suddenly laugh in the middle of practicing moves. Instead of making people feel nervous, Michael often made the room feel fun and relaxed. Chris said one of the funniest things was seeing Michael laugh while trying to teach dance moves. Michael would sometimes stop dancing because he was laughing too hard at Chris trying to copy him. Fans loved hearing these stories because it showed a side of Michael that was playful and human. On stage, Michael looked almost superhuman with his perfect performances and legendary moves. But with Chris, he could simply laugh, joke, and enjoy himself without pressure.
To perform with Chris Tucker and Usher on Rock My World was a lot of fun. It was kind of spontaneous. I'm on stage singing and suddenly Usher comes up dancing, and it was surprising and a lot of fun. I really think he's a wonderful performer, Usher. And Chris Tucker, who I consider to be one of the funniest men alive, was wonderful to work with. And I just really think he's a wonderful human being. He's a friend of mine now.
Chris loved imitating Michael's soft voice while telling the story. Fans often laughed hearing Chris repeat Michael's exact tone and expression. Small moments like this became legendary because Michael had a unique way of speaking that made even ordinary comments sound memorable.
You do sing Michael Jackson.
Dangerous! God, it's so dangerous!
You and Michael,
thank you.
That's an odd choice of songs, of all the Michael Jackson songs, to go with Dangerous.
One thing Chris always emphasized was Michael's kindness and generosity. According to Chris, Michael cared deeply about people and constantly tried to help others. Chris explained that Michael would quietly give money to people in need without looking for attention or praise.
You see me in the club with a bottle full of bud. Michael, no. Don't sing the words, Chris. I love that song, Chris.
Sometimes Michael would see families struggling or hear about children needing help, and he would immediately want to do something. Chris admired this side of Michael because it came from a genuine place. Chris explained that Michael's generosity was not just about money. Michael also gave people time, kindness, and emotional support.
Just love me till you don't know how. Michael changed my name. I ain't even say nothing. He started calling me Christmas and shit. He was like, hey, Christmas. I didn't know who he was talking to. I'm talking to you, Chris.
Chris remembered moments where Michael encouraged people who were struggling or tried to make others feel special. Even though Michael was the biggest star in the world, he often focused more on helping other people than talking about himself. Chris said this was one of the reasons he respected Michael so much. Another funny part of their friendship involved nicknames. Chris once joked that he called Michael Christmas because Michael was always giving people things like Christmas gifts. According to Chris, Michael was so generous that being around him sometimes felt like Christmas morning. The nickname made Michael laugh, and it became one of the many inside jokes they shared together. Fans loved hearing this story because it perfectly captured Michael's giving personality. Chris also shared stories about singing around Michael. Sometimes Chris would jokingly imitate Michael's songs, especially Thriller. Chris would dramatically sing like Michael while copying his voice and dance moves. Instead of getting annoyed, Michael reportedly laughed hard every time Chris did it. Michael enjoyed humor and loved when people were relaxed around him. Chris explained that Michael never acted like he was above jokes or impressions. In fact, he often encouraged the fun. One touching story Chris shared was when Michael told him he was one of his favorite comedians. Chris admitted that hearing those words from Michael meant a lot to him because Michael rarely opened up emotionally to many people.